Good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays. And finally streaming once again. It's been a while. The holiday season has been interesting and a lot of things going on, but now I want to stream some Legends of Boxing, the PC game. I've been playing offline and I have my own little SDG Invitational universe, and it started out with Gene Tunney winning the heavyweight tournament in a split decision match against Muhammad Ali. I did a couple more plays offline, and I did a rematch between Ali and Tunney, a 15-rounder that went the distance, and again by split decision, but this time Muhammad Ali won the split decision. So in my invitational, my SDG Invitational universe, Muhammad Ali is our world heavyweight champion. But today we're going to be doing just some venue boxing. I didn't even set up a venue. We're just going to be fighting from the backyard of the Blaylock house in North Carolina. So this is going to be 3 matches, 2 undercard and 1 main event match. And let's go ahead and go to that screen. As you'll see, our main event is going to have Joe Louis taking on Mike Tyson in a 12-rounder. And that should be an exciting matchup of 2 bangers. Yeah, it should be a good one. Our undercard, our first undercard, is going to find the Ukrainian Vladimir Klitschko against the American Ernie Shavers. So generational difference there. Well, actually in all these fights. Our other undercard is going to be Tim Witherspoon of the U.S. against Henry Cooper of England. So let's go ahead and get into this match, and let's get into this fight. So our first matchup is going to be the heavyweights Klitschko and Shavers. Volume's not too high. Yeah, I've got it set at 25%. That should be pretty good. All right. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Let's look at Klitschko first. Klitschko had a career record of 64-5-0 with 53 knockouts. You can see his power is at 8, so he's throws a pretty good punch. He does fight clean, and he has his endurance is 17. He does fight from the outside. He's never elusive. He fights from the outside from 1 to 9, 10 to 13, or he's from the outside, 14 to 19. He's on the inside, and he only pressures at 20. I think I've read that right. Matter of fact, he and Shavers are almost identical, except Shavers is a 13 on the inside. They both, Klitschko fights clean, where Shavers fights average on the foul. The big difference is Shavers, who was 74-14-1 with 68 KOs, is an 11 with power. They both have the same control factor, so it's just going to be by the roll of the die who gets control. With the way Shavers punches and the way Klitschko punches, I'll be surprised if this one goes the 10 rounds. These undercards are 10 rounders, so let's go ahead and get into the fight as both fighters come to center ring. They get their instructions from our referee. I'm trying to think who's going to be our referee in our little sports sim universe. Let's go with referee Kurt Berglund. Kurt Berglund is our referee today. A very stern and very strict Kurt Berglund. They get their instruction. Here's the bell, and they come out fighting. First to go is Klitschko, who wings away. He lands a hook to the body of Ernie Shavers. Again, Klitschko throws a combination to the body and the head of Ernie Shavers. This time, Shavers looks to fire back. He does. He lands a hook to the head of Klitschko, snapping his head back. Again, Klitschko firing back, returning, lands a hook to the body and to the temple of Ernie Shavers as he's coming out firing early in this round. Klitschko still with control. Lands a short cross that snaps the head of Shavers. First TKO point for Shavers. Shavers looking to answer back. He lands a snapping jab, left jab to Klitschko's chin. Klitschko looking to respond back, and he does with a short cross to the right jaw of Ernie Shavers. Again, Klitschko lands another hook, digging to the body of Shavers, trying to get Shavers to drop those hands. This time Shavers fires back. He lands a cross as the bell rings. And I would have to give that first round to Klitschko, who seemed a more active fighter, landing more punches. So round number 1 to Klitschko. And his endurance would go to 14 and Shavers 12. Here's the bell as both fighters come out for round number 2. This time Shavers with control. He lands a hook to the body of Klitschko, digging a hook to the gut of Klitschko. This time we see split action as both clinch and the referees breaking up the dance. Shavers with control once again. This time, good defense as Klitschko ducks the wild hook by Ernie Shavers. Again, dancing center ring as referee Kurt Berglund steps in and says, let's quit the waltz and let's get to fighting. Klitschko with control. Lands a hook to the temple of Shavers. There will be a cut check, and he is cut. Shavers is cut. It's a minor cut above the left eye, so Klitschko's the first to draw blood as it trickles down the left brow of Ernie Shavers. An even exchange as each land one punch each. Here in round number 2. Klitschko again with control. Lands a short hook again to the rib cage of Ernie Shavers, trying to get him to drop those hands where he can land the big counter punch to the head. Shavers snaps a jab, but it's blocked out of the air off the gloves of Klitschko. And they both trying to jockey for position as the bell sounds, and round number 2 comes to a close. And I would have to give that round as well to Klitschko. Let's see what our ringside judges have to say. The ringside judge, which is not official, but yes, he's got both first 2 rounds going to the Ukrainian Klitschko. As we start round number 3. The corner for Shavers is telling him you need to get busy, start throwing. He's been a little slow on the punch as the bells sound. Klitschko, Shavers meet center ring. Both of them look to throw from the inside. As Klitschko again lands that hook to the body of Ernie Shavers. It's been a persistent thing in this fight, as both fighters dancing in center ring trying to get position to fire away, and Shavers does. He hits a combo to the head of Vladimir Klitschko. With Klitschko looking to fire back, he lands a short cross that gets through the guard of Shavers. Again, Klitschko. He lands a shot to the body, but Shavers looks to counter back, and he does. He lands a cross off the temple of Klitschko. A glancing blow that did not cut. Again, Shavers looking to fire away. He lands a huge uppercut. It's a solid shot, but Klitschko just grins at Shavers and shrugs it off. Shavers looks to continue the onslaught. He lands a combination, a short hook to the body and a right cross to the head of Klitschko. As Klitschko looks to answer back, he does with a short cross of his own that lands to the chin of Shavers. And the control now goes back to Shavers, who looks to fire back, and he does, landing a hook to the body of Klitschko that scores Klitschko's first TKO point. And I think I would score that round, the first round, to Shavers. Kind of close the gap as both fighters are getting near their fatigue levels. Yes, ringside judge agrees. Shavers took that round. So going into the fourth, Klitschko holds a slim lead as both fighters are beginning to tire, sucking wind as their corners give them their last instructions. The bell sounds for round number 4 as Shavers will continue to try to fight from the inside as Klitschko steps to the outside. Shavers from the inside, swinging away, lands a hook. 2 hooks digging to the body of Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko looking to fire back. He does. He lands a cross, and it's a stern one. And as Shavers is hurt by that one as he lands a hard cross right off the chin of Ernie Shavers. That will give control to Klitschko as he swings away again and lands a straight punch to the nose of Ernie Shavers. Klitschko looking to continue control, but Shavers looks to fire back. He lands an uppercut to the chin of Vladimir Klitschko as he's looking to try to get control back of this round. Foul check on Ernie Shavers. It's a marginal foul. He gets the warning from Kurt Berglund. Keep those punches up. Again, Shavers looking to take advantage. Lands a hook to the body of Vladimir Klitschko, who's beginning to suck wind, but he fires back, landing a cross of his own. And both fighters looking to get position to land in this last segment. And they both throw an even exchange. Both get TKO points to close out the round. I would have to say that was Klitschko's round once again, so he's taken another round. He's taken 3 out of 4 of the rounds so far. Klitschko's endurance down to 4. Shavers down to 2 as we go to round number 5. Again, Klitschko will be fighting from the outside and Shavers from the inside. Shavers with control. He looks to pound away. He lands a hook to the body of Klitschko. Again, Shavers looking to take advantage. He's throwing. He hits a combo to the head of Vladimir Klitschko. This time it's an even exchange as both throw out jabs that snap the head of the other. Clash of heads. Cut check first for Klitschko. And he will be cut. And his mouth is bleeding as the hard head of Shavers has brought blood from the mouth of Klitschko. Nothing for Shavers. Shavers looks to take advantage of that headbutt. He lands another shot. It's a right cross to the left temple of Klitschko, and he is cut once again. This time it's minor swelling over the left eye. So we're getting to get some alteration in the faces of Klitschko and Shavers. They both throw and both miss. So at the last minute of the round, Shavers still in control. He lands an uppercut, and there will be another cut check, and Klitschko is cut once again. It's a minor cut now above the right eye, so we have cuts above the left and right eye of Klitschko and bleeding from the mouth as our fight is now become bloody. Klitschko looking to fire back. He lands a hook, 2-point hook, digging to the body and then to the head of Ernie Shavers as we go to the last 20 seconds of the round. Shavers looking to end the round big. He throws an uppercut that connects as the bell sounds, excuse me. I believe I'd have to give that round to Shavers, but Shavers is now fatigued as his control factor will now go up to 11. His defense won't be affected, but his power will go down from 11 to 4, so a big change there as we go to round number 6 as Shavers is now fatigued. And seeing Shavers sucking wind on his stool, Klitschko comes out and is going to apply pressure and try to take advantage of a winded Ernie Shavers. As he takes control, he lands a cross, a 2-point cross, digging a hook to the body and then a right cross to the head of Ernie Shavers. Again, Klitschko with control, and he misses. Shavers dodges the right cross from Klitschko. This time Shavers looking to fire back after dodging that cross. He lands a cross himself, another cut check, and Klitschko again is cut. Now his nose is bleeding, so we have bleeding from the left and right eye, the mouth and nose of Vladimir Klitschko. He's a bloody mess as we go to a minute 46 in the 6th round. Shavers again with control. Lands a short cross, a 1-point cross. Again, he has control. He lands a hook to the body and a left to the head of Vladimir Klitschko. As he's looking to take control of the round. Each land 1 point each. A minute to go as Klitschko looks to fire back. He lands a double jab. He snaps that jab out off the chin of Ernie Shavers. Even exchange, but that was a exchange that took wind out of both of them as they each got TKO points. Again, Klitschko with control. He lands a hook as the bell sounds. And I don't know, I think I would have to give that round, even though he was fatigued, to Shavers. And this is going to be the fatigue round for Klitschko as well, as that took 5 endurance points out of him. His control goes up to 11. Defense is at 1 and his power down to 3. You see the chin and will go down for Shavers. As we go to round number 7, this is a close fight. I still have Klitschko maybe by 1 round. And the ringside judge has Klitschko up 58-56. I would have gave the last round to Shavers, but the ringside gave it to Klitschko. So away we go. We go to round number 7 in this tight fight between Klitschko and Shavers. This time, Shavers looks to pressure while Klitschko fights from the outside. Shavers with control. He lands an uppercut. Again, Shavers with control. This time, the uppercut's dodged as Klitschko looks now to fire back. He lands a hook to the head of Ernie Shavers, and it glides off the dome of Ernie Shavers. No cut. Again, Klitschko with control. Lands a cross, a 2-point cross, as he looks to distance himself in the points in this round. He lands another punch, another cross, as Klitschko's taking advantage in this round. And another cross, and that one lands heavily as another TKO point is added to Ernie Shavers. This time Shavers looks to fire back. He lands a hook, a 2-point hook himself, digging to the body of Vladimir Klitschko. Again, Shavers looking to close out the round well. He lands an uppercut. This time it's another cut for Klitschko. He's getting bloody. This time his nose begins to bleed even more. And both throw. That was a tough round to score. It's probably going to go to Klitschko, but he's the one that's a bloody mess. As we go to the 8th. It's going to be a control factor advantage for Klitschko as we go to the round number 8. This 10-round fight. The judge scored that last round. The ringside judge scored it even. So this is going to be down to the wire as we go to round number 8. The bell sounds. Both fighters weary. Come out. Klitschko swings away, and he missed. That straight punch is dodged by Ernie Shavers, who looks to answer back. And he does. He fires back, but so does Klitschko. As Klitschko again has control, lands a hook, digging to the body and then to the head of Ernie Shavers. Klitschko still in control. He lands a 2-point hook again, this time digging 2 lefts to the body of Ernie Shavers. Again, he lands a cross, snapping the head of Ernie Shavers. TKO point number 5, and that's Shavers' limit. Another cross, two-point cross, as he digs to the body, and a right cross to the head of Ernie Shavers. Still in control. This round has been all Vladimir Klitschko as he lands 2 more hooks, one to the body and one to the head of Ernie Shavers. Shavers looking to close out the round well, though. Throws a hook himself, digging 2 strong right hooks to the body of Vladimir Klitschko. Now Shavers again looking to close out the round well. Snaps a jab to the head of Vladimir Klitschko. And we go to round number 9. With Klitschko in the lead. The endurance of Shavers really taking the wind out of him as we go to round number 9. Both fighters will be fighting from the outside. Klitschko lands a hook to the body and the head of Ernie Shavers for 2 points. Both swing and miss as their punches are blocked and ducked. Klitschko again with control as he's gaining momentum here in the latter rounds. He throws out a snapping left jab to the jaw of Ernie Shavers. This time they both miss again as the fatigue is setting in. Accidental headbutt, but it seems both fighters are okay. Shavers now with control. Lands a two-point hook, digging to the body and then to the head of Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko fires back, lands a hard cross that stuns Shavers. He's hurt by that one. Again, Klitschko firing back with a one-point hook as we go to the last 17 seconds of the round. They both end swinging away, but you got to give that round to Klitschko. So we're going to round number 10, and Shavers, to win this fight, must get a knockout. I just don't know if he has the wind in him to do it as we go to round number 10. Ringside judge has it 88-84. So 4 points up going into round number 10. Shavers must get a knockout of Klitschko to win this fight, as Klitschko has been the stronger fighter in the last 3 or 4 rounds. Bell sounds, both fighters fighting from the outside. They come out first, clinching as referee Kurt Berglund separates the fighters. Klitschko again with control. He lands a jab, snaps that jab out, trying to keep Shavers at bay. All he needs to do, as he knows, is just stay upright. He's won this fight. He throws a hook to Shavers. Shavers must get busy. That does not help him. A foul check. Incidental contact. No foul from Shavers. Again, dual action does not help Shavers. An even exchange. Again, an even exchange does not help Shavers. We're down to the last 45 seconds of this round. He needs to land something big. He does have control here. And he lands a 2-point cross. Time is running out on Ernie Shavers as he looks to get desperate. That will not help. An even exchange. A 10-10 round is not going to help Ernie Shavers, and we will go to the judges. And that is our fight. This one's going to the judges, and from my viewpoint, it's going to be an easy, unanimous decision for Klitschko, but you never know how the judges see it. Official result. First judge is 97-94, 98-94, 99-92. Winner by unanimous decision, Vladimir Klitschko. So that was a fight that was pretty much dominated by Klitschko, especially in the latter rounds. They did score that last round 10-10. But this is a fight that Klitschko handled pretty easily. So let's go to our second undercard, which will be between Tim Witherspoon and Henry Cooper. First, terrible Tim Witherspoon. He had a career record of 55-13-1 with 38 knockouts. He does have a power of 6, durability of 7. He fights clean. His endurance, his and Cooper's are the same. They both have the same control factor, so this should be a very good fight. You see he's elusive from 1 to 3. Fights outside from 4 to 9. Inside from 10 to 16, and from 17 to 20 he pressures. Cooper's only elusive with a roll of 1. From 2 to 7, he fights from the outside. From to 8, excuse me. From 9 to 14, and then from 15 to 20 he pressures. This should be a very tight fight. Both are pretty evenly matched. Both, again, have the same endurance and the same control factor. The power is the same. You look down their columns, and they look almost exactly the same. Witherspoon's chin is a 7 as opposed to Cooper's 5. Witherspoon will cut easier. The wills are the same. TKO is the same. The finish is the same. So this should be a very interesting fight. It's going to go by the roll of the die. So both fighters come to the center ring. This time our referee will be Dave Gardner, refereeing this fight. As the bell sounds, both fighters come to center ring. Witherspoon's going to look to be elusive this round as Cooper looks to fire away from the outside. And they come out. Immediate foul check on Cooper as he throws on the belt line. And he does. Hit a little low. He goes to the family jewels of Tim Witherspoon to take a little bit of air out of him early. Cooper's looking to take advantage of that low blow, and he lands a cross to the head of Tim Witherspoon. Now a foul check on Witherspoon, who didn't like that low blow, and he fires back as both fighters, neither one looked to be a dirty fighter, but they're starting off this fight a little testy, as referee Dave Gardner has warned both fighters already as Cooper looks to fire back. He lands a hook to the body of Witherspoon. Both fighters jockeying for position in the ring as Witherspoon is dancing around early in this round. But Cooper fires away from the outside. He lands a straight punch to the right chin of Witherspoon. Witherspoon firing back. Lands a jab. He snaps that jab out to the jaw of Henry Cooper. Control goes back to Cooper. He lands a hook, and it is landed well and staggers Witherspoon. He's in serious trouble. It's a great combination to set up another punch. And this time Witherspoon is down. Cooper lands a clean combination that puts Witherspoon on the canvas here in round number 1. He's up at 5. And that will end the round as Witherspoon goes to the canvas early in round number 1, and that's going to be a 10-8 round for Henry Cooper as he put Witherspoon on the canvas early here. Yes, that's going to be a 10-8 round by the ringside and by myself as Henry Cooper lands early, as Witherspoon and Cooper will continue to fire away, but this time both from the outside, as they both are jockeying for position. Cooper's looking to land another big punch, but Witherspoon has control, and he'll land a short cross to the chin of Henry Cooper as Cooper looks to fire back. He lands a cross of himself, just mirroring Witherspoon. Cooper again with control, lands a jab. He snaps the chin of terrible Tim Witherspoon. As Cooper still with control, lands another punch. This time Witherspoon again is stunned. He was hurt by that one. And it's another good punch. And Witherspoon again is hurt as Cooper continues to pour it on. And lands a 1-point combination to close out that exchange. Witherspoon is being dominated so far in this fight, as his TKO has now gone to 4 here early in round number 2. Cooper again swinging away, again lands heavily. Witherspoon once again, and that's got to be another big round for Henry Cooper. Since it wasn't a knockdown, I don't think it'd be scored 10-8, but it was close. No, it's another 10-8 round according to the ringside judge, and I'd have to agree. Cooper so far is dominating this fight over Witherspoon. Witherspoon looking to change his strategy, and he's looking to fire away from the inside. Cooper's staying on the outside with what seems to be working. Witherspoon throws a cross, but it's blocked on the gloves of Cooper. So both fighters are trying to get in position to land heavily. We're going to have a foul check on Cooper. And again, he goes low as he's getting a warning from referee Gardner. Witherspoon again with control, looking to try to get something going here in round number 3 as he lands a hook to the body of Cooper. Again, jockeying for position. This is a slower round in round 3. As Witherspoon is trying to get control of this fight. He lands a combination, but it's weak, only 1 point. And we have a headbutt, but both fighters okay. Jockeying for position once again. This has been a slow round as Cooper gets the last exchange of the round, and he misses, and Witherspoon looks to counter, and he does. He counters big. That straight gets through the guard, but Cooper just grins and shrugs it off as we go to round number 4. I believe I have to give that round, the first round, to Witherspoon. Ringside judge agrees, so we got a 29-26 score so far as Cooper has been the heavier puncher so far this time. We come out for round number 4, and Cooper looks to pressure and Witherspoon to fire away from the inside. Cooper hits another straight punch, and it's another heavy punch, and Witherspoon is hurt once again. And he lands an uppercut to follow up that strong cross. And it's a combination landed by Witherspoon, who's trying to answer back after being stunned early in round number 4. Cooper again firing away. And lands another combination to the body and the head of Witherspoon. Another TKO point. Already 5 here in round number 4. Again, Cooper lands heavily. He hooks to the body, 2 right hooks to the body of Witherspoon. Cooper again with control, lands another hook. This time it's a left to the chin of Witherspoon, who's losing another round. This time a short hook by Witherspoon, trying to answer back. But Cooper gets control once again, lands another hook. This time it lands heavily to the chin of Witherspoon, but Witherspoon shrugs this one off. But his TKO is now to 6. Can he make it through this fight the way it is going? As an aggressive combo by Cooper digging to the body and head of Witherspoon closes out the round, and that's got to be another big round for Henry Cooper, as Witherspoon's fatigue now is down to 5, while Cooper is fairly fresh at 11 as we reach the halfway point of this fight. Both fighters looking to fight from the outside. Round number 5, the bell sounds. Both fighters looking to fire away. Cooper gets the advantage. He snaps a jab to the jaw of Tim Witherspoon. Again, Cooper looking to fire away. This time it's a straight punch to the left chin of Terrible Tim. Again, Cooper maintaining control. This fight is all his. He just snaps another jab out, just keeping Witherspoon at bay. Another punch landed, another jab. This will be our first cut check of the fight, and Witherspoon will be cut. And it's a minor swelling under the right eye, so the right eye starting to swell. Vision beginning to be impaired for Witherspoon as Cooper maintains control. This time it's another jab that glances off the temple of Witherspoon. No cut, but Cooper's still firing away. This time the jab is blocked by Witherspoon as he gets the gloves up. Witherspoon looking to answer back, and he does. He lands a straight to the chin of Henry Cooper. Again, Witherspoon this time, he lands a straight, and it's a heavy one. Cooper is stunned. This is the first time Cooper has really felt anything from Witherspoon. But Witherspoon can only land across to close out the round. And so that's a close round. I would score it even. But maybe that strong flurry at the end by Witherspoon will give him that round. And ringside still gives that one to Cooper. I would call it even. So Witherspoon still trailing heavily in this fight. We go to round number 6 with Witherspoon down to 3 endurance points, while Cooper's still fairly fresh with 9. Here we go to round number 6. Cooper with control, but Witherspoon ducks and dives the cross thrown by Henry Cooper. Cooper again looking to connect. This time he lands a hook, but Witherspoon looks to counter, and he snaps a jab back in answer to that hook. Again, Cooper with control. Lands another hook. 2 of them digging to the body of Tim Witherspoon. Again, control by Cooper. Glides and glances off the cheek of Tim Witherspoon. No cut. Witherspoon firing back. He lands a straight punch to the left cheek of Henry Cooper. Cooper firing back. Snaps out a jab. Fighters throwing and missing here with 30 seconds to go in the round. Witherspoon snaps out a jab. Last 16 seconds. Witherspoon has control. And he lands a jab. So Witherspoon trying to do everything he can. He knows he's running out of wind. And he survived another round without losing his endurance. But he's down to 1 point as we go to round number 7. Cooper leading heavily in this fight as Witherspoon again looking to fight from the outside. Cooper has stayed from the outside most of this fight. Again, another split action. Both fighters throw and miss. Again, this time they clinch, but referee Gardner separates the fighters and tells them to get busy. And Cooper agrees with that assessment. He throws a hook that glances off the forehead of Tim Witherspoon. Both fighters exchange 1 point each. Again, Cooper gets control. He throws a straight punch that Witherspoon dodges easily. Witherspoon looks to fire back, but he misses. Both fighters not having much action in round number 7. They can't seem to land a punch as Cooper blocks the punch by Witherspoon. This time Witherspoon will land. It's a straight punch, and it is landed heavily, but Cooper just shrugs it off. Witherspoon can't seem to land a punch that seems to matter as the bell sounds as both fighters jockey for position. This now will bring fatigue on for Witherspoon and he will lose control factor as he goes to 11 to Cooper's 10. His power will go all the way down to a 2. And his defense is now a 1. So things not looking good for terrible Tim Witherspoon as he goes to round number 8, trailing in this fight to Henry Cooper. Bell sounds. Witherspoon does come out firing, and he misses. He throws out a jab that Cooper just dodges easily. Cooper looks to fire back, and he does with a hook of his own as he hooks to the body of Tim Witherspoon. That will be a foul check on Witherspoon, as it's incidental as he goes to the belt line, but referee Gardner allows it as Cooper looks to fire back. He does, landing a hook, one to the body and one to the head of Tim Witherspoon, as Witherspoon is again, Witherspoon hit with a cross to the cheek, but it glances off. Enough Vaseline on the cheeks of Witherspoon to not allow a cut as he looks to fire back. And he does. He lands a straight punch that lands heavily on the chin of Henry Cooper for a 2-point score. But Cooper looks to fire back, and he does. And he lands a combination to the body of Witherspoon that brings his TKO leveled up to 7. Again, swing and miss from both fighters, as this time Cooper looks to be fighting from the inside, and they both block and miss to close out round number 8. Again, I would have to give that round to Henry Cooper. So we're going to go to round 9. Witherspoon trailing heavily in this fight by 4 rounds. 2 rounds to go. Both fighters looking to fight from the inside as they are You mean to tell me I was not aware of it when I've had this mug of mine in the recording of it? We can correct that. I apologize, and away it goes. There we go. I had to take a phone call from the vet. That allowed me to see that my face has been in the way for 2 fights. But here we go to round number 9, and Witherspoon trailing heavily to Cooper, so he's got to get busy, and I don't know if he has it in him to close out this fight, but both fighters fighting from the inside. Cooper with control. And he lands a hard hook, 2-point hook to the body of Witherspoon. Again, Cooper with control. Again, that hook digging to the body, and this time going upstairs to the head of Witherspoon. And then they just kind of do a little dance, center's ring, as referee Gardner encourages him to get busy. Cooper agrees as he lands an uppercut to the chin of Witherspoon, and Gardner steps in and Witherspoon can take no more, and Henry Cooper will win by TKO here at 106 in round number 9, as he was just bludgeoning Witherspoon, and that closes out that fight. And now we go to our main event, our heavyweight main event between Joe Louis and Mike Tyson. As we close this out, this fight night, this is going to be a 12-rounder between Mike Tyson and Joe Louis. Joe Louis had a 68-3 record with 54 knockouts. His power is at 9. His durability at 10. His chin rating goes up +2 after first knockdown. Tyson is 50-6 with 44 knockouts. Lewis will have the control factors. He's a 9 to Tyson's 10. Endurance goes into favor of Lewis, as he's a 28 to Tyson's 22. Neither fighter is elusive. And Tyson will not fight from the outside. He only fights from the inside, where Lewis will fight from the outside from 7 to 13. The inside rating is 14 for Lewis to the inside of 10 for Tyson. So this is going to be a fight that favors Lewis, but Tyson, with that power of 10, can knock anybody out at any time, while Lewis fights with a power of 9, so he's not far behind. So Lewis, the favorite, Tyson, the underdog. They'll start the fight out, and our referee for this fight will be the Al, the Red Sox fan. And as he will be the referee for this fight, Lewis looking to come out pressuring Tyson, as Tyson will only fight from the inside or pressure. Lewis starts his fight out in control. Tyson defends well. He only gets a 1-point combination, as the defense for both is at 3, so this will be a very defensive fight. Again, Lewis with control. He lands a hook to the chin or cheek of Mike Tyson. And there will be a foul check on Tyson, and he does throw low, and he gets a warning from Al, the Red Sox fan. Both fighters jockeying for position to be able to land heavily. Still, they swing and miss, as Lewis and Tyson both miss, trying to show their dominance. Tyson lands a hook to the body and a left cross to the head of Lewis for a 2-point combination. As Lewis looks to answer back, and he does with a big combination. He lands heavily on Tyson, but Tyson just grins and shrugs it off. As we go to the last 35 seconds of the round, both fighters just throw jabs out. Close out the round with a low blow that hits to the belt line, but no foul, as Al says no foul. That'll be the end of round number 1. Pretty closely contested round. I have to give it a slight edge to Joe Lewis as we go to round number 2. Again, Lewis will be pressuring Tyson, fighting from the inside. Lewis with control. Tyson blocks the hook thrown by Lewis, and he counters back with an uppercut to the chin of Joe Lewis. Lewis again with control. Again, he throws a hook. Tyson ducks that hook. His head movement good as he looks to counter back. He lands a heavy hook that stuns Lewis. Lewis is hurt. Tyson lands another punch, this time a possible cut, but there will be no cut, but he lands heavily, and that's a TKO point for Joe Lewis in this 12-round fight. Tyson looking to end it early, but Lewis throws a cross of his own. Both fighters throwing, and Lewis goes low below the belt. First warning from referee Al, as Tyson, angered by that, swings away, but his jab is blocked easily by Lewis. Tyson again with control. Lands a light combination to the head of Joe Louis. And an even exchange as they both snap out jabs and crosses. And they clinch. And they are separated as the bell sounds. And I'd have to give round number 2 to Iron Mike Tyson. Ringside judge has actually gave Tyson both rounds. I don't think I agree with that. I think Louis took round number 2, but he's got Tyson up 2 rounds to none so far. How did he see that? I don't know. But Louis, both fighters this time fighting from the inside as Louis looks to get busy and start digging at the body of Tyson. He throws that hook. It's ducked once again, and Tyson once again counters with a short hook of his own. Again, Louis with control. Again, the defense of Tyson has been superb so far in this fight. This time, the punch gets through as a short cross connects to the chin of Mike Tyson. Again, Louis with control. Again, good defense as Tyson only allows one light uppercut to get through as Louis is having trouble with the defense of Tyson. But not this time as a short hook glances off the temple of Mike Tyson. Again, control. Another hook, this time digging to the body of Tyson as Louis is looking to close out this round strong. Another hook to the rib cage of Iron Mike Tyson. This time Tyson looks to fire back, and he does, and he lands heavily once again, and Louis is staggered. He's in serious trouble, but he's able to clinch, minimizing the damage. Tyson lands big late in the round to take round number 3. And so far, this is Tyson's fight to lose. As this time, Louis switches up his strategy, and he'll be fighting from the outside. This fight, Tyson will again be throwing from the inside. Both fighters throw, but Tyson throws low, but it's just off the belt line, and Al says, let it go. Again, Tyson with control. Lands a hook to the body, a one-point hook. Louis looks to answer his back, and he snaps out a jab that connects to the chin of Tyson. This time Joe Louis again with control. Lands a quick combination, digging to the body and then snapping to the head of Mike Tyson. Tyson looking to fire back. He misses. His combination is blocked and countered by Louis, who fires back and lands a hook to the body of Mike Tyson. Both fighters even exchange. Last minute of the round. Again, an even flurry, 2 points each. And that'll give a TKO point to Tyson. Tyson looking to fire back. And he does, landing a heavy combination to the body that gives Louis his 3rd TKO point. Louis firing back. And he lands his first heavy cross, and it hits heavily off the chin. And Tyson is down. Tyson has been knocked down here in round 4. And he's up at the count of 3. That took some wind out of the sails of Tyson. And you'll have to give Louis that round 10-8 with the knockdown. Let's see where that has our ringside judge at now after these rounds. It's a tight one, 38-37, as Louis picked up 2 points on him with that 10-8 round. And Tyson was the first to go down in this fight. We go to round number 5 with Louis fighting from the outside and Tyson from the inside. Well, that punch come out of nowhere to put Tyson down here early, and Lewis lands a short cross to the chin of Tyson. Tyson looking to fire back. He throws, but he misses as Lewis ducks the hook thrown by Mike Tyson. This time Lewis firing back. Lands a cross to the left cheek of Iron Mike Tyson. Again, Lewis with control. He lands another jab. He snaps that jab out to the chin of Mike Tyson. Again, Lewis with control. And it's a short cross that lands lightly on Tyson. Tyson looking to fire back heavily. And he does. It's a combo to the head of Lewis. And Lewis is staggered. He's in serious trouble as both fighters have been landing heavily. Tyson relentlessly pursues. He lands a combination. And Lewis is down here in round number 5. And Lewis is up at 3. So both fighters now have been down in this fight as they are landing heavily. This fight is getting interesting. And here's another finisher. He is pursuing. Tyson is being like a bulldog going after Lewis. Lewis is staggered once again. He is in serious trouble as this round is closing out. And it sets up another clean punch, another one through. And he was hurt. But that'll end the round. But boy, that was a big round for Iron Mike Tyson as Lewis's TKO points have gone up to 7 after that round as he was beaten badly in round number 5. Tyson is now looking to take control of this fight as he is ahead heavily now in this fight as he is up 3 points going into the 6th round of this 12-round fight. Both fighters' endurances are low. They're down to 6 and 5 each. Tyson again firing away from the inside. Lewis looking to stay on the outside to stay away from the power of Tyson. As Tyson comes out, he has control. He throws the punch. It's a short combo, 1-point scoring combo. As Lewis looks to fire back, he throws a 1-point cross. As both fighters starting out slow, but Tyson throws a hook that is ducked by Lewis. Again, Tyson with control. He's wanting to close out this fight. He throws a 2-point cross. He really staggered and hurt Lewis in round number 5. Here in round number 6, it's been a little slower pace. And Lewis, looking to get back in this fight, lands a cross that stuns Tyson. Tyson's been hurt. But Lewis cannot take advantage as he throws the hook. And the good head movement by Tyson ducks out of the way. As Tyson now has control. And he fires back with a 2-point hook of his own to the body of Joe Lewis. Lewis firing back. He misses as Tyson blocks the jab by Lewis. Lewis still with control. Again he missed as Tyson, great defense in that round. A little slower round, but I would have to give that round again to Iron Mike Tyson as Tyson is starting to distance himself in this fight. As both fighters get low on endurance, they're starting to suck wind a little bit as we go into round number 7. Again, Lewis from the outside, Tyson from the inside. Tyson with control. He throws, it's missed. Lewis counters back with a hook that lands to the rib cage of Iron Mike Tyson. Tyson, kind of annoyed with that, throws back, and he lands an uppercut that bounces off the chin of Lewis for a 2-point uppercut. Again, Tyson with control. Throwing heavily, he lands another hook to the body. That's a solid shot, but Lewis just shrugs it off. Tyson again. Pressing on the inside, this time from the outside. Joe Lewis throws a jab that's blocked by Tyson. Again, Lewis with control. Again, great defense by Tyson as the jab is missed. Tyson this time with control. But he misses throws the uppercut, but it's blocked by Lewis. This time Tyson lands a 2-point cross that hits heavily off the chin of Lewis, bringing his TKO level to 9. To 8, excuse me, just 1 point from his TKO of 9. Lewis with control. Hits Tyson with a hook that digs to the body and then to the chin of Tyson. Into the last 8 seconds of the round, both fighters with an even exchange. I'd have to give that round again to Tyson. And that brings Tyson now fatigued though, and that's going to give a definite advantage to Lewis in the control factor. And Tyson's power is going to go down to 4. So this is the round that Lewis must take advantage of, because he's trailing by three rounds to Tyson. But now he has a 2-point control factor. He must take advantage of it, and Tyson has lost power. So he's going to pressure here in round number 8. Both fighters come out. Looks like Lewis is thrown low, and he has little to the family jewels as Al gives him a warning, stern warning to Lewis. And each throw 2-point flurries as they land heavily. Lewis still with control. He lands a hard cross to the chin of Mike Tyson, but Tyson just looks at him and shrugs it off. That bull neck of Tyson taking that hard punch. Again, another cross. This time lands heavily, and Tyson is now down. And he's up at 3. So that's the second time Tyson has been down in this fight. Both fighters have been knocked down twice in this fight, and that is going to bode well for Lewis as he looks to finish this fight. He is pursuing Tyson. He throws a furious combination, and he is once again stunned. And a great combination to set up a clean punch, and he is hurt again as the bell sounds, and Al steps in and he stops this fight. Al, Red Sox fan, has seen enough. He steps in, and Joe Louis has won this fight by TKO. And round number 8, with a minute 59 into the round, a minute to go in the round, and Al, Red Sox fan, steps in and stops this fight in a stunner, in a fight that I believe Lewis was trailing in heavily. Going in to the round, Tyson was up 67-64, 67-65, and 66. But as I stated, going into that round, Tyson was fatigued. Lewis needed to take advantage of the situation. He does. He steps up and he knocks out, or TKOs, Mike Tyson there to close out the fight. What an exciting fight, that last fight. Our other 2 fights were pretty much dominated by the winners, as we saw Klitschko and Cooper win easily. But we get into this last fight, and it was a slugfest between Lewis and Tyson. Both fighters going down twice in the fight, and then the fight being stopped there with a minute to go. In what round was that? In the 8th round, Lewis comes out firing heavily, and down goes Tyson. What an exciting fight. I hope you enjoyed it. Man, I had a great time with it. It was fun to watch it unfold in front of us. So that's my stream for the day. I hope you enjoy it. God bless. Soli Deo Glory.